Queen's Club, one of the most prestigious tennis clubs in the world and home of the ATP 500 event. Today, I got to spend the day there. I arrived about 10 AM and when I was driving in, I was really shocked at how hidden the club was within the streets of London. I could only really see it when I was actually arriving. Once I got through the gates, I was so surprised with how big it actually was and how many courts there were. I made my way to the front of the club and that's where I met Toby. Toby is a member here and has a career high ranking of 641. We made a little plan for the day, which included having a tour around the facilities.
Basically going to show you the tennis courts, rackets court, real tennis, paddle as well over there, squash if anyone's interested.
Right. Then getting on court and playing some points. Now there's a lot of rules at Queen's Club, one of which, similar to Wimbledon, is that you have to wear predominantly white clothing when you're playing. But another is that I'm not allowed to show you all of the inside of the clubhouse and every single facility. But you'll have to just take my word for it, it was incredible. By far the most impressive tennis club I've ever seen. So, let's fast forward to the rackets courts, and apparently this is one of the fastest ball sports in the world.
Welcome to the fastest ball sport in the world.
Wow.
So it's obviously an elongated squash court, it's where squash derived from.
Right.
I believe I'm right in saying it's the fastest ball sport in the world, I've been told a few times it is.
There's actually a ball lying around on the court, and we went to have a closer look at it.
Yeah,
it's harder. It's harder than a golf ball, smaller than a golf ball.
Just looks like a bit of cloth around, like a really hard ball.
Yeah, right, exactly. But imagine getting hit in the face with this.
It's crazy.
Yeah, trust me, you don't want to get that.
We then had a look at some of the indoor courts, and this is where some of the pros practiced before the ATP World Tour Finals when they were in London. And Toby was telling me that each of the courts were modelled after different courts across the world. For example, the outdoor hard courts were modelled after the US Open.
And what are these supposed to play like?
US Open. I've got a feeling they're like brand new, but I've got a feeling the US Open's now quicker than these.
We then went and had a look at the clay courts.
Yeah, so there's 6 clay courts.
You can really prepare for all your tournaments here, though.
Mate, yeah,
it's incredible.
Exactly. Yeah, it's so good.
Don't need to go anywhere else. So these must be like the best clay courts in the country, right?
Absolutely, bar none, because they have groundsmen maintain them every day as well.
Right. So this is the same clay from
Rome.
Wow.
After looking at the outdoor courts, we made it back to the front, where I completely missed the fact that the grass in the front of the clubhouse is where centre court usually is for the 500 event.
Okay,
cool.
This is
Is this a court here?
This is centre court.
This is centre court.
Yeah.
So where's the stands then normally?
They start building them in like a month or so.
What, on the back of the court?
Yeah, so mate, like even here.
Like the stands go here? What?
Yeah, every angle, like every side.
Alright, so that's it for the tour, and once we decided on the best court to do the filming, it was time to warm up and start hitting. Okay, so as usual, we hit a couple balls in the box to get a feel for the ball, and then we got straight back to the baseline and started striking some from back there. To be honest, I wasn't really focusing on too much because I was experiencing a bit of pain in my upper back, but by making sure I was fully relaxed through my shots, it relieved the pain a bit, and it actually helped me get a lot easier power and depth, so a bit of a win-win situation there. The plan for today was just to play a set, so as a part of our extended warm-up, we got into some cross-court rallies and I was really starting to find a good rhythm. On the backhand side, my main focus was just trying to hit my shots in the outer third of the court, as I do have a tendency to hit the middle a little bit too often. I then made my way to the net to warm up my volleys and smashes, making sure my weight was travelling forward through each shot. Toby did a great job at directing the ball to my right shoulder, which is always a tough volley to deal with, so that was great practice. After warming up a few serves, it was time to get into the set. Alright, I'm not going to lie, I kind of struggled for points in these first couple games. I made a couple unforced errors and Toby really took control of these points. It was really important to try and hold serve here to get into the set, and luckily Toby made a couple unforced errors which gave me a little bit of confidence. This point here was the first point I really took control of, and that helped me relax and put my game on the court a little bit more. I was able to make a few more first serves in this game, but Toby came up with some really good responses. I was watching one of Karoo's live streams recently, and something I found really interesting was what he said about the fact that it's really important to win the ballroom points. I think sometimes I do too much and try to go for big shots when I don't need to, like there with the backhand. I need to remember it's okay to extend the rally sometimes, especially when my opponents are serving. I think this point here was a lot better than the other ones, because at least I made Toby work for the point. I think I got in my own head too much that if I didn't hit enough quality early on, then he was going to hit me off the court. But what that actually did was that it stopped me getting a rhythm and a feel for my shots. Alright, so that was the set, and we just played an extra game at the end as Toby wanted to practice some patterns on this set. But overall, I was a little bit disappointed with the amount of unforced errors I made in this set. I think Toby played really well and controlled the points, but when I was watching it back, if I was a little bit more consistent at the start of the rally, then I would have had more opportunity to control the points as the scoreline got tighter. But as always, let me know what you think in the comment section, and hope you enjoyed this little insight into a practice session at Queen's Club. Toby's actually started a YouTube channel himself. I'm going to leave the link to his channel in the description, so make sure you go subscribe.